What's up traders, Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital. Welcome to your market recap video. It is September 14th of 2022. We're coming at you with another late night edition. First off, I want to thank everyone for the support of the channel. Every like on the video counts, every comment counts, every view counts. So really appreciate you guys. Let's dive in and let's start off with these box scores. S&P 500 finished out up 0.38%. Our NASDAQ QQQ up 0.79%. Our IWM small caps up just a smidge, up 0.39%. Dogs of the Dow up 0.11%. Our ARK Innovation ETF was our big winner for today, up 2.75%. And we actually day traded the double leveraged ARK ETF, which is ticker symbol TARK, for the day. Now, keep in mind, first thing that I want to point out in this video, yesterday the SPY was down 4.35%. That is a huge decline. Now for our big epic quote unquote bounce, the S&P 500 was up 0.38%. That is absolutely nothing. That is barely even a bounce. Volatility did contract today. You can see the VIX was down 4.07%, not too shabby. Breadth was very mixed across the board, with small cap breadth being slightly below 50%, and our up volume was 51.3%. The trend model remains at a -3, and when my trend model is at a -3, the primary goal is capital preservation and minimizing any drawdown that might occur if the market has any sort of spill, slip up, catastrophe, one-off event, whatever you want to call it. So I think a lot of traders out there, their sole mission every single day is like, I want to make as much money as possible. For me, my mission changes depending on what the market is doing. For a -3 market, the mission really is survival, and that's what's allowed me to stick around for so long in this game, and what'll hopefully keep me around for many years and decades to come. Economic data. Today we had our PPI report that came out, and we had a plus 0.4% move month over month. The consensus estimate was plus 0.3%. So again, another above expected inflation report. And with the market having had such a catastrophe yesterday, just a huge downside move, and then getting another confirming inflation report that says, you know what, this inflation problem is not over. As soon as we got this, I was like, you know what, today's probably going to be a day where I barely even trade, because there are certain times in the market where things just go above your pay grade. I would say this is one of those situations for me where it is not my job as a full-time price action trader to be the arbiter of truth on inflation and like, okay, I'm going to guess what everyone's going to react to this inflation report and guess the duration of the sell-off and all that stuff. That is, again, way above my pay grade. That's for these big institutions to figure it out. And I'm certainly not going to be that first one sticking my neck out. So that actually takes a lot of the pressure off of me and off of everyone in the Pristine Capital Trading Group, because we can just be like, you know what, let's just chill and let's let the dust settle a bit. Tomorrow, we're going to have retail sales data out at 8:30. We're going to have initial jobless claims that are also coming out at 8:30. And then we're going to have industrial production data out at 9:15. Those are all occurring before the market open. So it could be another pretty active, pretty wild pre-market session. FinViz heat map for today. Again, talk about above my pay grade. Look at this market. Like, the market was pretty much being jammed higher by Tesla and Apple. And it was like two stocks really moving the market. And everywhere else, pretty much a mixed bag except for energy stocks. And we know just from operating in this bear market all year, really like the configuration that we don't want to see is energy stocks leading. Energy stocks leading while everything else is kind of like mixed and languishing. That is the hallmark of just a very unhealthy market where the indices are likely not going to be making a whole lot of progress. So again, as soon as I see that, I go, all right, this is a situation where, is this like in terms of like market hands, so to speak? Is this kings, queens, aces type hand? No, this is, not the best hand. I would say it's like a 50-50 shot on the upside or downside, and those are not really the odds that I want to be playing. Sectors. We had Dirty Energy up 2.82%. That was our big winner for today. Clean Energy also did pretty good. We have solar energy stocks that were up 1.95%. Our biggest position via common shares is Enphase. We'll jump over to that chart in just a moment. Enphase had a pretty good day today. I gotta say though, the one thing that's encouraging is that we are seeing some leadership stocks that are bucking the trend of market weakness. That is always a good thing to see. And most of the holdings in our portfolio actually finished out the day positive, so really can't complain there. Style factors, our momentum style factor is up 0.78%. Again, that's a pretty glass half full thing, which is good. In terms of trades for today, again, like the only thing that we traded via common shares was TARK. Got long this position at 9:46 a.m. And really my mindset for today was, hey, if I can get one day trade, make a couple bucks, that's a really successful day for today. So got long TARK right on the morning at 1768, sold a piece for 1829, sold another piece for 1871, sold the final piece for 1834. Not too shabby. And I wanted to make sure, to not carry the risk overnight. Again, I have no idea what's going to happen overnight. I got no idea how the market's going to react to the news in the morning. So I will just take the small winner, take the base hit, book it, and move on. In terms of options trades, I did end up putting a hedge on the books at 11:50 a.m. The S&P 500 at this point in time was up about 0.6% for the session. And again, I was just seeing that bigger picture and realizing this balance is really insignificant. This is really just noise after such a big down day yesterday. So I was like, you know what? Rather than getting a hedge on into the market lows, let me get a hedge on into the market highs. I sized this one pretty small, just in case the market's super volatile. Again, like I don't want to be taking so much like active risk with put options, but it's really just, hey, if the market decides to tank, I'll have at least something on the books that can buoy my portfolio a little bit. Let's take a look at these indices and just see where we are at. S&P 500 again, like look at this. So we have this downward trend line drawn. We have day 20 of the sell-off. Tomorrow is actually going to be day 21. So what is reassuring is we are pretty long in the tooth for this sell-off. We had a fall sell-off in 2020 that lasted 15 sessions from peak to trough. We had a 20 session sell-off peak to trough in 2021. Could this one end up being 25 days? Certainly could, but I think it's safe to say like there's a lot of players that are at least in the process of being washed out, which is a great thing. But this is definitely a key thing to look out for. When you just get a horrible red day, multiple ATR move, and then the following day is just kind of like a weak little baby bounce, that doesn't really give you any confirmation that the sell-off is over. And we have this level just below us at 3868 spot 5 on the S&P 500. That's a VPOC that was established, I believe, in August. And so as I look at this, I'm like, what are the odds that we hit that VPOC? I'd probably say it's like 50-50, right? At least. I can't look at this chart and be like, oh, there's no way we're going to hit that level. We're just going to bounce higher. Again, this situation right now where inflation is not coming down and it's just being so stubborn, it would be foolish for me to think that, oh, I know how this is going to play out. The market's down big. Like, let me just buy the dip. And that is a young man's game for sure. And that's really just something that like, most of the time, honestly, it's really rookie traders that they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick which side or whatever. You can do that, and about half the time you'll end up being right, half the time you'll end up being wrong. But it's one of those things where for longevity, if you want to be playing this game for years and decades, it's really going to benefit you if you put your ego to the side and just say, do I really know? Nah, not really. So yeah, for today, just kind of chilling and just seeing how the chips fall. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, see what that one is doing, and then we'll jump into some individual stocks before we break for today. Nasdaq, also, a little bit of a better bounce, but just retracing part of yesterday's losses. Russell 2000 is trading below value. Hey, maybe we get a retest the bottom of value. We'll see how that does. Dow Jones also looks pretty dreadful, right? That said, there were some individual names that did do pretty well, and I noticed it really was the clean energy space. So we had, one name, this is our biggest position, Enphase. This one had a great day. Look at this, a 4.95%, closed out pretty much right on the highs, and I really love this chart on the weekly as well. So for this name, this is a risk that I'm willing to take. I do think there's a lot of edge, Maybe not now that the stock was up almost 5% today, but I think when we bought it, we had basically a very textbook technical formation on this stock. Some other names that did very well. One of our members pointed this name out in the pre-market. This was really clutch. ChargePoint. Look at what this one did. ChargePoint is trading above value. We put in multiple green candles consecutively. And it does look like there's some accumulation going on. So very good find by one of our Pristine Capital members. What else do we have? Some other names that did pretty well. AHR. Again, up 3.44%. Very nice looking chart here. And of course, we're coming into some resistance. But overall, just very nice recovery from the lows. GFS, this is another name that I have a long position in. I don't think it did quite as well as some other stuff, but up 2.53%. Really can't complain. TLT, which is our bond trade. TLT is starting to move off the lows. This one is traded right up to the 5-day EMA. We'll see how this trade continues to unfold throughout the rest of the week. Let's take a look at some of these other names. There was another one that I really wanted to point out as well. We went through Enphase, we went through ChargePoint, CCJ as well. Look at this. This was a uranium name that we pointed out the other day. Also moving and grooving up 2.32%. Oxy, Mr. Buffett. Look at this. We're kind of just putting in like a little sideways consolidation. Definitely worth watching some of these energy names. Because remember, retail typically gets super excited about these names after they put in those extended range green candles, and then they end up getting, torched. So it's much better to start focusing on the name and planning out a trade while it's still in a tight pattern. But yeah, overall, definitely going to do some more scanning tonight. I think it's super important. Like, if you notice my tonality this video, it's basically like, hey, I'm certainly, not the arbiter of truth on this stuff. I don't know which way the market is going to go. Now, that's not me saying, all right, I just, take a vacay, leave the desk, and that's it. That means I'm going to be working twice as hard. I'm going to be looking for leadership stocks. I'm going to be scanning. I want to make sure that I have some winning stocks at my fingertips. That way, when we get more information, whether that's, oh my gosh, we do tag this 3868 level, everyone's washed out, that would be a great level 10 to the market. Or let's say like we consolidate for a few days, the market kind of resets, we start moving higher. It's going to be great to have some of those names in the back pocket. So it's just very important to take that slow and measured approach and just think about things from a long-term perspective. Tomorrow we got a bunch of data points coming out. Every single week these jobless claims really matter because I think the Federal Reserve, unfortunately, they want to start seeing Americans lose their jobs in order to help fight inflation. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Much more to come tomorrow and as the week unfolds. And yeah, this market really is a page turner. It's all about just waiting to get that next piece of info and just acting accordingly and letting others make those mistakes from acting prematurely. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, we will see you all tomorrow.